boxing for the European title. Would you please welcome into the red corner, fighting out of the Warriors Gym, London, England, the current ICO and WBC British champion, George Racket Smith.
If you switch it, not gonna go. Hit you with that 3,000. Niggas thinking that I'm solo. Hit the deep, they like, oh no. Heard the fans taking photo. I know nothing but
And would you welcome his opponent into the blue corner, fighting out of the Simon Muay Thai Gym in Londou, Cyprus. He is the champion of Cyprus, Stefanos, Londou. Five 3-minute rounds of A-class action for the ICO European title. Smith in the red, Londou in the blue. And please, once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's be upstanding for the national anthems.
the danger, and no malice there at all, as you saw. I'm not saying that helps, it's just a fact. Push kick from George as Stefanos came forward.
See, Stefanos is trying to stamp his authority on this fight, already holding the centre, keeping George along the edge of the ring.
George happy to comply at the moment as well, and then Stefanos, again, the second time he's gone for the low kick and straight into the clinch. And George looking to knee immediately they get there. Chopping low kick again from Stefanos. Immediate response from George, but Stefanos looks sharp as well, doesn't he, with the hands.
Good opening first round.
Good solid 3 minutes, both men acknowledging their fans. There's a lot of kidology goes on in Thai boxing with the oi when your man hits the mark, they're holding the arms up after rounds to say, I've taken that round for the judges. They look on paper well matched after this opening round.
Yeah.
Picking up on your point though, Stefanos seemed to be the one that wanted to take that centre of the ring and push his man back. But by the same token, if you were that man doing that, George looked comfortable. It looked like he was giving ground because he knew what was going on, not because Stefanos was forcing him.
Yeah. I think yeah, George was happy to be there, but I just think just a psychological thing where Stefanos was just showing him that I'm here to fight, not here to make up numbers. Again, it looks like another evenly matched fight.
Yes, superb on Midland Mayhem, the matchmaking here. A real tribute to our promoter, Mr. Andrew Hennessy. Superb matchups. A little wink from George there of confidence as Lee stretches him in the corner. And as I said, these are real tests. 5 3-minute rounds, and you will see across this bout, as each round goes by, they will step up the tempo.
See George already
matching him in the centre of the ring. Stefanos with those long limbs looking to respond as George chops away at that lead leg. Spinning back fist attempt, Stefanos sees it. Nice economy of movement. And that's another thing about Thai boxing. There is an economy of movement to their game, isn't there?
Yeah.
Good timing from Stefanos there. George straight to his feet. No emotion again. Won't want to show his opponent anything. Then Stefanos chops him with the elbows, beginning to light up already, only round 2. And it's a good tactic from the away fighter. You said he's not here to make up the numbers, but honestly as well, being an away fighter, you really have to impress. We always say when we go in board, you've really got to do the business to win. And we shouldn't think that people that come to our country don't think the same way. Cass.
Yeah, of course. That's why you look like he's holding the centre, he's pushing forward, and he's confident in everything he's doing.
George chops to the inside of Stefanos' leg. But as Kasim said, a very confident opponent, although having said that, was a beautifully placed knee from
nice
George.
Knees there going in from Stefanos.
And Garth happy to let them continue because the knees were flying in from both men there. Lee telling George to let's go, back him up. But already in round 2, the pace stepped up dramatically. But there's a nice rhythm to Stefanos, isn't there?
Yeah. You can tell he's always looking for his next move. Whereas I think George is waiting a bit too long.
Yeah, you feel that George is looking to counter and respond, but it's going to be difficult because Stefanos is a mixture of power and loose limbs. He skips out of range nicely, very quickly.
Nice knees going in there.
Well, both men have had their share of success in the clinch with the knees. It's just that on occasion you see Stefanos doubling it up, and the judges will be seeing this as well. And that was about strength in the clinch from these two men.
See Stefanos straight back up, looking in George's eyes there.
So round 2 already, the heat turned up, and Stefanos has looked just twice in this round for that chopping elbow. And they tie up once more, but no action this time, so Garth splits them. And they go once more. Just too close to land cleanly for Stefanos. And the second round is down as Stefanos holds his arms aloft. He's got every right to be confident, I think.
Yeah, he's fighting well.
And again, George getting his breath back as Lee talks to him. And like you, I'd like him to either react faster or initiate.
Yeah, I think now that we're going into the third round, I think this is when George needs to stamp his authority on the fight.
Because he is allowing Stefanos to initiate and then looking to counter, and he's not always been successful with that.
No, yeah, and he could be letting the fight run away from him or waiting too long. I think George needs to come out and take this round now.
That's right, the halfway stage, round 3 of 5.
You can see Stefanos getting told in the corner to bring his elbows up through the middle, so we'll see this round if he applies it.
Well, he's threatened it twice, didn't he? Going into the clinch, almost like as a setup for the clinch.
Yeah, I think as a taller fighter as well, he can bring them elbows down onto George.
Yes, it's going to be interesting to see at the halfway point here. And here we go, they touch gloves. And again, George looking to stay, but it's subtle, isn't it? But Stefanos subtly applies the pressure and backs his man up.
Yeah.
Nice right-hand counter, though, from George and Stefanos just touched it with the gloves as if to acknowledge it, then comes back with the knee. And you're right, his body shape is ideal for bringing these knees in and the elbows in as well.
Yeah.
He's tall at the weight. And again, walking George down. George looks to come in and engage, and I agree with Kasim. George needs to start stamping his authority here. There's the elbow they talked about, spins with it, comes forward very confident, the Cypriot fighter. And if that lands, they are fight stoppers. Cutting tools, the elbows. Just off balance there, Stefanos, as he threw. Looks to come forward, lands with the final kick. George shrugs it off. And they're going to the clinch once more, and the exchange of knees identical. But there's where Stefanos just managed to throw that extra knee in, which can be vital here. George, for his part, is stepping up his game here. Looks wary of stepping forward, and Stefanos again immediately goes in with the knee, doubles it up. Good exchange of knees this time. And there's the elbow attempt.
Stefanos is looking confident now.
Chops at the lead leg, George needs to assert his authority, needs to come forward here. Lands with a good kick again, then moves away. Stefanos walking him down once more. Probing again, looks a little shift there, Kasim, but he didn't quite land that right as he wanted. Steps out, then steps back in.
See Stefanos now still constantly coming forward now, pushing George back onto the ropes.
And this will catch the judges' eyes, and with the kick that follows on the end, they will be looking at the aggressive style of the Cypriot fighter. And that's where in Thai boxing, when it's close, that centre ring control is so vital.
Yeah.
George looks for the elbow there, and Lee Whittingham responds as George looks for that elbow on the inside here in round 3. I felt
a good round.
George had his moments there and had some really good work, but Stefanos is almost subtly saying to judges, look, this is where I am, this is what I'm doing. He catches the eye with that mentality.
Yeah, and you can see the confidence in his work now.
So we've got 2 more rounds, and I think by the judging criteria that Garth was talking about with the ICO beforehand, I think in my personal scorecard, I would have Stefanos ahead.
Yeah, same, yeah. I think George needs to stop waiting for Stefanos to throw something to try and counter him and start throwing first himself.
And Stefanos, on my part, the right tactics. He's come here to show that he wants to win, not make up the numbers. And as I said, in his mind, he's entering foreign territory where in his mind, he might not think he'll get a fair shake unless he makes it look obvious. Now, I must say the judges tonight have been superb. The decisions have all been spot on, and I'm confident that will continue. But again, it's natural for an away fighter to think that way, and I think Stefanos is acting on it well as well by saying, look, there can be no doubt, look at me, look at what I'm doing.
Yeah, it don't look like he's just trying to do just enough.
And as this is A-class rules, you're wondering why the breaks are so long. They get longer in the tie between rounds because it's 5 and it's 3-minute rounds. And again, Stefanos, that's good tactics, trying to get the crowd on his side by acknowledging them, saying, acknowledge me as well, looking for every angle here. This man has impressed me.
Again, straight away, he holds the center. He's got George on the rope straight away, right from the start.
George calm and composed still and looking to come back. Pushing forward himself now, looking for that moment. Chopping inside leg kick. Stefanos responds immediately. This is better from George, pushing forward. Checks the kick from Stefanos as Stefanos pushes forward once more. Spins George just out of range. Economy of movement from the Cypriot, but his timing's good and his awareness is very good as well.
It is.
Looks to come into the clinch again with the knees and the downward elbow. He's got to be careful of the head though. The downward elbow is legal, but the targeting on the back of the head has got to be careful there. But it shows his intent now, Kasim, stepping it up in round 4 here.
I think he wants to just try and take this fight away from George now.
George equally focused. Stefanos looking to come in on the angles once more. George with the left and right. Stefanos comes in, that's more of a push than the leg came in as well, but it was just a two-handed push there. Comes in, looks for the trip again, and then the knees, and he closes the gap very quickly indeed.
And he gets the knees in straight away, no hesitation there.
And again, the last knee is from the Cypriot in these exchanges. Looks to come in with that elbow. George looks to respond. These are the key moments when the elbows come into play. They can they can be a game changer, quite literally.
Yeah, it only takes that one good elbow to land.
And as you said that, Kaz, Stefanos span with the elbow, looking to land it. Front push kick from George. Comes forward with the teep to the head, doesn't quite reach. And they touch gloves, good sportsmanship, acknowledging their teep again from George. Good moments, nice right hand. George having a good second half to this round. Now that was an interesting round for me, Kasim, because Stefanos looked in control at the beginning and looked like he was going to run away with that round, but then George suddenly put a stop on it. Yeah, and it was after the spinning back elbow from Stefanos. George stepped up to the plate again, the teep to the face, and then a big right hand at the end there. He came back very strongly in that fourth. Yeah, it was a strong finish from George there. I think this round, I just want George to put it on him from the start. Yes, it's very close indeed in that respect. I honestly feel at the moment still that Stefanos is probably ahead on the scorecards, and that George needs a big, strong round to make this very interesting indeed. Yeah. So fifth and final round of a very tense contest indeed. And so many variables when you look at what the judges are looking for, Kasim. Yeah, I think Stefanos will try and come out strong this round too. If I was in his corner, I'd say, look, give them no doubt, give them no doubt. And if I was Lee in George's corner, I'd be saying exactly the same thing. Come on, Lee, this is the fifth round. Yeah. Sorry, come on, George, this is the fifth round. Let's really push him back here. So Lee, you heard him shout. Now, come on, George, now work. This is the round. I think George, no, I think George needs to work right from the start now. Yes, he put the teep in, but it was caught on the right-hand counter from Stefanos, who's looking to push his own teep right in now, and then jumps in with the jab. Chopping low kick caught by Stefanos, then the knee. George pushing forward, doubles up the left hand and then the left leg. Better work from the red corner. That's better. Lee certainly busier here. Stefanos looked to go in with the right elbow. And you could see George was going for the turn there and the throw. Puts the round kick in. And a more determined start from the British fighter. Yeah, that's it. I think he needs to keep the pressure on him now. And again, the right leg kicks in. He's put the hands in over the top after that. And waiting for Stefanos to come in again, so he looks to counter with the left leg. Stefanos looked for the elbow again, switched elbows at the last minute from the right to left, and then Lee comes through and lands cleanly and shows the crowd there. Much better round for George here. I think I've said Lee twice in the excitement. It's George. Lee's his coach. And oh, a groin shot again from the knees on Stefanos. But George landed that elbow clean and acknowledged it to the crowd. So they touch gloves and go once more. This fifth round really hotting up. Teep to the thigh, then brings the left leg up again. A lot more urgency about George Smith's work in this final round.
It is, it is. I think George should just go for the strong finish now.
Well, Stefanos looked to switch up those elbows again, but George was aware of that. And they go again, and Stefanos keen to get straight back in. George turns and uses the elbow.
Nice.
Better tactics now from... He did the fancy kick and took a foot to the face for it, and Stefanos comes forward now, looking for those elbows again.
Ooh, spinning back fist.
Pushing forward once more, looks to tie up. George looks to turn him. They've both stepped on the gas now. And Stefanos spins and just clips his opponent once more. Little mouse under the eye of George. Teep as Stefanos comes in, spins once more, uses it as a back fist this time. And I like the way he knows that George is in the corner, so he's going to take the full impact of that spin. Yeah. This is interesting how it goes now, because George had a very solid 5th round and a good 4th round. Those first 3 rounds are key to me now. Be very interesting this.
Just got to wait and see how the judges have seen it.
Please, both your warriors in this ring before the official announcement. But we do have a unanimous decision, and the ICO European title belt goes around the waist of a man from the red corner, George Smith.
Basically, whenever you strike,